Lush, and I'm here inside the Hub Culture studio. Delighted to be here with our partner, Handshake, and I'm very pleased to be welcoming to the studio Ahmed Badr, President and CEO of Narratio. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
How are you today?
Doing well. It's a great day outside. It's cold,
beautiful.
but
really
it's
cold.
warm. It's a little warm. Yeah.
Warm connections are being made. Tell me about Narratio and tell me what you do.
Absolutely. So Narratio is on a mission to redefine what comes to mind when people hear the word refugee.
I think opportunity, I think positive, unstoppable, and only if it's well managed. I think that's what I would think about migration, but I would say that the majority of people don't necessarily think those words.
Absolutely, and that's why we're creating new systems of engagement with the creative work and leadership potential of refugee youth around the world by activating their power through fellowships, through partnerships with major institutions like the Metropolitan Museum of Art, Christie's, the UN, and many others.
So give me an example of a journey that you've seen somebody go through when they've come through your platform, come through Narratio.
Absolutely. So Nida Al-Jabaran came to the U.S. as a refugee from Syria with her family. Began in high school. We met her in high school. She went through our program. Started college with the support of Narratio and our staff, and went through the entire program. And by the end of it, she had a piece of work, a poem that she could share with the world. And that poem was performed at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, really at the first performance by refugee youth in the museum's history. And that poem has been reaching millions of people. It's been published in a book project. It's on national news. And most importantly, she is a leader in her own community and is on her way to be a medical leader for her community and a medical leader in the country.
Incredible. And how has that changed how people might view or think when they hear that word, refugee, because of her story?
There's a fundamental difference between a displacement story and the story of someone who happens to be displaced. Someone like Nida reminds us of the fullest complexities of our stories and the power of what happens once we realize that we can share our own stories on our own terms.
Why did you start it?
Inspired by my personal experience. My family left Iraq after our home was bombed in 2006.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. We went to Syria, which at the time was taking in refugees. Oftentimes people don't forget about that. And then we had the honor and privilege of being resettled to the US as refugees in 2008. So all of this work is incredibly personal. And I was inspired by my own ability to realize that I had a story to tell, that I had the ability to tell it, and that there were individuals ready to hear it. So expanding what comes to mind when folks hear that word, but also thinking actively about how we can create a system where that creative expression, that storytelling and leadership potential is activated in a long-term and in a sustainable way.
Interesting. What's one thing that people watching this video can do differently?
Recognize the fullest extent of an individual's story and create spaces for them to step into that fullest version of that story and spread it as far and wide as possible.
Thank you very much, Ahmed, for stopping into the Hub Culture Studio, Davos 2023, and I'm Edie Lush.